Did you know some vegetables that seem totally harmless can actually send your blood sugar soaring after just one meal, silently damaging your heart, kidneys, and nerves without you even realizing it? But here's the amazing part. By simply switching out 5 types of vegetables in your diet, you can naturally lower your blood sugar, protect your blood vessels, and even help your body repair the damage caused by diabetes. In today's video, I'm Dr. David Mitchell, 60 years old, and I'm going to share 5 vegetables that nutrition experts in the US call the natural shield against diabetes. If you eat them the right way, they can help reduce your HbA1c, boost insulin sensitivity, and keep your blood sugar steady day and night. Make sure to watch until the very end, because the last vegetable, the one most people completely overlook, might just be the key to managing diabetes without increasing your medication. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of my future health tips. All right, let's start with the first vegetable. 1, spinach. After more than 30 years working with people over 50 who live with diabetes, I've realized something truly meaningful. Sometimes the key to better health comes from the simplest things, like a plate of greens. And among them, spinach, or kaibo soy, is what I call a quiet hero. Spinach has a very low glycemic index, only around 15, which means it almost doesn't raise your blood sugar after a meal. But what really impresses me is that this vegetable contains a large amount of natural nitrates that help your blood vessels relax and improve circulation. In studies, people who ate spinach regularly for just a few weeks saw their blood flow increase by up to 30%. That means your heart, brain, and other organs are better nourished, helping reduce numbness and fatigue symptoms many people with diabetes often experience. Inside spinach, there's also alpha-lipoic acid, a powerful antioxidant that helps boost insulin sensitivity by more than 20%, while also supporting nerve repair and reducing inflammation. For anyone who often feels tired after meals or experiences tingling in the hands and feet, this is truly a wonderful choice. I often tell my patients lightly, saute spinach with olive oil and a squeeze of lemon, or simply eat it raw in your evening salad. It helps your body prepare better for digestion and metabolism after a meal. Just remember one small thing. Don't eat more than about 4 cups a day, because too much can raise oxalate levels and increase the risk of kidney stones. A simple vegetable, but when used wisely, it can become a natural medicine that helps you control your blood sugar and live healthier every single day. 2, bitter melon. When I was still practicing at my clinic in California, I had a patient named Mrs. Clara, 64 years old, who had been living with type 2 diabetes for over 10 years. She once told me, "Doctor, I'm tired of these pills. I just want something natural." And that's when I introduced her to a very special food bitter melon, also known as Miop Dang. People often call it the natural insulin plant, and that's not just a nickname. Inside bitter melon are 3 rare compounds, carotene, vicine, and polypeptide P, which act almost like real insulin in your body. These compounds help your cells absorb sugar more effectively, which can lower blood glucose by 20 to 30%, and even reduce HbA1c by up to 1% after just a few weeks of consistent use. I still remember clearly, after 2 months of drinking about 50 milliliters of bitter melon juice each morning mixed with cucumber and lemon, Miss Clara came back with the brightest smile. She told me, "Doctor, my sugar levels finally feel stable, and I don't feel that afternoon crash anymore." The amazing part was that not only did her blood sugar improve, but her circulation, nerve function, and even blood pressure became more balanced. If you're not used to the bitter taste, try stir-frying it lightly with onions and olive oil, or cooking it in a soup with lean meat. The bitterness softens quite a bit. But remember, don't eat more than about 250 grams per day. And if you're taking insulin or pregnant, make sure to check with your doctor first. Bitter melon isn't just an ordinary vegetable. It's a reminder that nature always gives our bodies a way to heal, as long as we're willing to listen and trust in simplicity. 3. Okra. And now let's talk about a vegetable you've probably seen in every local market, but few people realize it might be the silent gatekeeper of blood sugar okra. I often tell my patients that if spinach is the shield protecting your blood vessels, then okra is the net that catches the extra sugar from your meals. Inside okra, there's a natural gel-like substance, and that very slime works like a sponge, absorbing sugar in the intestines, slowing down its release into the bloodstream, and reducing post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 25%. I still remember Mr. James, 68 years old, a man who loved his white rice and fried fish dinners. His blood sugar would shoot up after every meal, even though he was already on medication. After I suggested adding just a few slices of steamed okra to his evening meals 3 weeks later, his test results showed his HbA1c had dropped nearly 1%. He smiled and told me, "Doctor, I never thought something this cheap could help me sleep better every night." And it's true, eating okra at dinner can be a wonderful way to keep your blood sugar steady overnight. You can steam it lightly or stir-fry it with olive oil, garlic, and turmeric, simple but effective. However, remember everything good still needs balance. Don't eat more than about 400 grams a day. And if you have kidney stones, be cautious. Okra contains oxalates that might increase the risk. Okra isn't just a vegetable, it's proof that sometimes the simplest, most humble foods can bring about the biggest changes in our health. If you're still watching and finding this information helpful, please comment the number 1 below. I'd love to know you're here with me. Now let's move on to vegetable number 4. 4. Broccoli. If you've ever walked through a local market on a quiet weekend morning, you've probably noticed those bright green bundles of broccoli full of life and energy. Just by looking at them, you can almost feel their vitality. And I always tell my patients, this isn't just a vegetable, it's your body's silent armor. Broccoli has an extremely low glycemic index, around 10, meaning it barely raises your blood sugar. But what's truly remarkable is its power can reduce post-meal sugar spikes by up to 27% and improve insulin sensitivity by about 18%. Thanks to a compound called sulforaphane, this vegetable also protects the pancreatic cells that produce insulin, and studies show it can lower HbA1c by as much as 1.3% when eaten regularly. I still remember Mr. Robert, 66 years old, who loved his breakfast of bread and eggs. After just a few weeks of adding steamed broccoli to his lunch and dinner, his blood sugar became steadier, and the fatigue and heavy feeling after meals started to fade away. He smiled and told me, "David, I never thought vegetables could make me feel this good." To get the most out of broccoli, steam it for just 3 to 5 minutes to preserve its vitamin C and sulforaphane, and pair it with olive oil, garlic, or almonds for a richer flavor. But remember, moderation matters. Keep it under 3 cups a day. And if you're taking blood thinners, check with your doctor first, since broccoli is high in vitamin K. Broccoli is living proof that good health doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes a simple green vegetable prepared the right way can completely change how your body handles blood sugar and protect your heart and nerves. A humble food, yet its benefits are truly extraordinary. And now let's move on to the final vegetable I want to share with you today. 5. Celery. If you've ever stood in front of the vegetable aisle, celery is probably one of the most familiar greens you see, sometimes even overlooked because of how simple it looks. But I want to tell you this, for people living with diabetes, celery isn't just another vegetable, it's a quiet ally for your heart and blood sugar. In over 30 years of working with patients over 50, I've seen how just 1 glass of celery juice in the morning can make a remarkable difference in how the body handles sugar after meals. Thanks to 2 powerful flavonoids, apigenin and luteolin, celery helps reduce inflammation in the pancreas and stimulate beta cells to produce insulin more effectively. On top of that, its natural magnesium, potassium, and sodium help lower blood pressure and improve circulation, something incredibly important for anyone whose blood vessels have been weakened by diabetes. I still remember Mrs. Linda, 62 years old, who often felt tired and saw her blood sugar spike after breakfast. After just a few weeks of drinking celery juice mixed with green apple and a bit of ginger, her blood sugar dropped 10 to 15%. She felt less tense and even her sugar cravings faded away. You can drink it as juice, blend it with fruit, or make a refreshing salad with olive oil, lemon, and black pepper. But remember, no more than about 500 milliliters a day. And if you're taking diuretics, be sure to check with your doctor first. Celery is a beautiful reminder that lasting health often comes from the simplest things. A humble green vegetable, yet when used the right way, it can steady your blood sugar, protect your heart, and give you energy for the entire day. And those are the 5 vegetables I always recommend to my patients over 50, especially if they want to keep their blood sugar steady and protect their overall health. You see, sometimes it's the small, simple changes, a plate of stir-fried greens or a glass of fresh juice, that have the power to transform your body in the most positive way. Just imagine every meal becoming an opportunity to care for your body, a moment where you're not only feeding yourself, but also protecting your heart, your nerves, your kidneys, and your eyes. Over the years, I've seen so many people who, after just a few weeks of adding these vegetables to their meals, found their blood sugar more balanced, their energy renewed, and their outlook on life brighter. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss more of these simple but powerful health tips. And most importantly, start today. Pick just one of these vegetables, add it to your next meal, and watch how your body begins to respond. Remember, good health doesn't come from magic, but from small, consistent habits done the right way. So let every meal be a step forward on your journey of self-care, and know that I'll be right here walking that path with you, one step at a time.